Hi there, welcome back to the Rare Book Views channel, where I'm hoping that I'll get to show you some rare books and maybe share thoughts on books and unusual thoughts on books and thoughts on unusual books, all the rare things, all the views things. So today I'm going to go book shopping, which I love because who knows, I might find some rare books or just uncommonly good books. I'm going to a charity bookshop today, which I always love because people donate the books that they don't need or want anymore or maybe don't have room for, and then they go to a charity, they go to a good cause, and then we get to reuse them and give them a new home. And I love browsing the stacks and I love a bargain. So I'm really excited about this today. I have a very long list. It's a new year, it's always a little thinner in the used bookstores after the big holiday shopping, so I don't really know what we'll find. And I also just sent everybody's presents, so of course it's time to start holiday shopping too. So let's go see what we can find. I found a bunch of books. I had such a good time. There was decent people watching, always fun. Really good. The store was really in good order, very organized. Lots of stuff. Definitely, I always want more, but I did get a big pile of books. Let's see what we got. I found a really cool copy of Through the Looking Glass. I love Alice in Wonderland. This is one of those books that I read as a kid, and I love to have a special copy, a vintage copy. This is a really neat one. It's by, I was going to say it was by Macmillan, but I think that's not totally true. No, it's by St. Martin's Press, and it's got this green cover, and then it has this is sort of embossed and has two-tone, and it always does make me wonder, better with the dust jacket or without? This one, the dust jacket has a little bit of a problem. So I'm probably going to put a protective dust jacket on it. And I love to do that. It makes them also spruce up and look pretty. So I'll probably do that, but this will probably go on my eBay page to fund my book habit. And I do think this is a nice addition and it's very affordable. You can usually get this, the original, the Alice or the Looking Glass, maybe $10 to $15 plus shipping, depending on eBay. This is a very widely available book, but it's really nice. And the end papers are glossy and illustrated. And the illustrations are the original Tenniel, but colorized in plates. So it's a nice high quality edition. I'm going to show you, this is the one that I have on hand. This is my Through the Looking Glass. You can barely see, there's embossing here. This is the original version, and this is Macmillan. This is the original publisher. And this one is sort of a slightly later edition. This would have been gilt, I think, on the first edition. And I can show you the copyright page, which the dates are going to be in the teens. It's really small. So you can say this is definitely vintage 19th, so a bona fide antique, over 100 years old. And the illustrations you can see are the Tenniel in the black and white. And the text just makes me think, oh, this is original. It's vintage. And I think that is a super fun edition. I found some fiction. I'm really excited about this. I found a bunch of popular fiction that's been on my list that I read a good review, and I'm pretty excited about it. So this is going to be great. My next to be read shelf is really shaping up to be fun. This is a mystery that's been on my list for a mysterious amount of time. How long have I been looking for this? I don't even really know. It's apparently based on a real life world event, so I'm excited. I just have no earthly idea. Why did I put this on my list? I can't remember the author or anything, but I am excited about it. I also got Sarah Pearse, The Sanitorium. This has been on my list. It's been on my list so long that she has another book that's now on my list. But I found this. I think the fiction, these were both $3, which doesn't seem half bad. And I think The Sanitorium is suspense, and that is great. And it is great for this time of year. There's something about winter weather and it getting kind of cold and a little bit gray out that snuggling in under a quilt and reading a good suspense book on a weekend and kind of getting really involved and just devouring it. Love it. More fiction. This is the next book in this series, the Mary Russell series, which is sort of Sherlock Holmes fan fiction. I really like Sherlock Holmes. And this series is really fun because instead of Watson, he has a female companion throughout the series. And I think they're really smart. I like this kind of silly setup, and it reminds me of a certain period of Victorian writing where there's a story that someone told in a pub and they explained that they found it in a box under a thing because of it. There's all this huge confusing backstory about why the story even happens, and she sets it up with this, oh, I received this trunk with these old manuscripts, as if she's just telling the memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. And I just think that's really fun and Victorian feeling. This is The Game, which is the next one for me, and I just read the last one from the library, and it's kind of fun because I really want these at a bargain price or from the library, so I have to wait either to find one or come across it, and I didn't have to wait at all. It's a New Year's miracle. Well, this is cool. This is a vintage Anne of Green Gables. This is one of the things that I read as a kid and I love to collect. This is an interesting edition. There are these sort of 50s, 60s. Let's take a look. 50s, I think. Copyright page says 1940. It's got the date of the original, and then this is the reprint. And these are really cool. The dust jacket, they went through a couple different cover arts, and then this is sort of a tweed, and it's a Grosset and Dunlap publisher. But I think it's nice to have these in a vintage copy. These would make a nice gift. This is the third or fourth, I want to say, in the series. And I can show you my copies. I have that time period, the 40s, 50s. You have two options of the covers. The gray border or no border. I have the no border one, but I think they're about the same time period. I don't know why Grosset and Dunlap felt like they needed multiple cover arts, and you can see it's actually the same picture. But this one has a border, so if you're going to collect them, you're going to want one or the other. I'm sure I just happened to get one without the border, and then I have all of them without the border. These are not expensive. You can get a vintage copy this time period for maybe $10 per book. And those are cool. And I would say make a nice gift if you knew someone who loved Anne of Green Gables, or say loved one of the many movie versions of Anne of Green Gables. That would be a really nice thing. That would be a very thoughtful gift. And I can also show you, this is the first edition version. This was published by Page of Boston. It's a beautiful, these are just beautiful editions. It's got this pasted down illustration of Anne and then gilt. I can show you the copyright page, what's going on here. Look at this. A beautiful illustration, and then the tissue paper to protect it. And then this is the block of the title page. And then here, you can see the dates. This one is 17th impression, March 1928. And at this point, they're saying impression, and that means the printing. So this is the first edition and the 17th time they've printed it. I think for this one, they mean the first version. I wouldn't be surprised if in one of those printings they actually made a change, but this is the original setup of the book. And I think these are just amazing. I'm lucky to have a few of these. I don't have first edition, first printing, so these would be tremendously expensive. These, the original Anne of Green Gables, maybe $50 to $100. They obviously reprinted it many, many times. If you get a later printing, so the first edition, but maybe like the 50th printing, it might be slightly more reasonable. These, if you're lucky, you might get them for somewhere in 20 to 50, the sequels. She did write a lot of books. There are many books in this series, but these are beautiful. I just love having these around to look at and sometimes even read. I found this for a friend of mine. Her son enjoys the Choose Your Own Adventures. And it's funny, of course, we read these when we were kids too, and I remember them very well. And they're a little bit harder to find now. I think they reprinted quite a few, but this seems like it's been around. This one has a little bit of age. The pages are getting a little yellower. I wonder if 1980s on the copyright page. So this was a grand total of 50 cents. I love a bargain. And last but definitely not least, the Autobiography of Agatha Christie. What does that even mean? Agatha Christie, an autobiography. I haven't dug into this too far, and I can't tell exactly what this is based on. So stay tuned, because this will end up on the to be read shelf, and then I will ferret out, did she really write this herself to be a book, or are these her journals, or what? But I have been on an Agatha Christie kick lately. I, for many years, just never got into it. I don't know why. I love mysteries. I once got to see the play, The Mousetrap, in London, and I've read a biography of her, and I think she's fascinating. I think her life story is fascinating. Her books are really fun, and I started reading them and trying to find vintage copies of them. I just read one from my current to-be-read shelf and just really loved it. I think her storytelling is great, and of course there are many to pick from. So it's one of the things now that I look for when I'm in the mystery section, to pull together some Agatha books to enjoy. I also really love the movies, so I am really enjoying that. I think that I'm probably going to get really into the autobiography. If you have any suggestions for other fan fiction for Agatha Christie or Agatha Christie-like books, please let me know. I would love to hear about it. If you're a mystery person, what other mystery writers do you enjoy? I love that. And suspense, I think, are just fantastic, especially this time of year. So, oh my gosh, this big pile of books that I'm going to have to enjoy and read. I did get a couple things for the present shelf, but just a couple small things. It's early days. It's only January. Plenty of time to shop for the next holidays. And I had a fantastic time. I want to say thank you for everybody who has said anything nice about the channel. I just love hearing from people who are readers or book fans and what you're doing and reading. I appreciate everyone who's been encouraging. I can't believe how nice people are about hearing about my book wanderings. Is just super fun. I have a little bit of stress during the week, and then at the end I get to do some book talking and hearing from people, and it really makes my day. So thanks to everybody who said nice things. If you are into the shopping videos, please let me know that you enjoy these ones, and I will keep making them. Thanks so much, and happy reading.